Princess Leonor's $76 million dream wedding spectacle in just 3 days. The world thought they had seen every royal wedding before. The grand halls, the diamond tiaras, the endless guests from across the globe. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared Spain, or the world, for what unfolded over just 3 days. Because when Princess Leonor, heir to the Spanish throne, celebrated her wedding, she didn't just marry. She staged a $76 million spectacle that is now being called the most dazzling royal celebration of the century. And yet, beneath the glittering jewels and the 6 million roses, this was not just about money. It was about power, legacy, and a young woman determined to show Spain, and the entire world, what kind of queen she is destined to become. So how did she do it? How did Leonor transform 3 days into a living fairy tale, and what secret messages were hidden within the spectacle that most people missed? Let us take you inside the story, step by step, moment by moment, of how this wedding unfolded. The first day was not the ceremony itself, but something far more symbolic, the gathering of Spain. As foreign royals, dignitaries, and celebrities began arriving in Madrid, Leonor shocked insiders by doing something no royal bride had dared in recent memory. She opened the palace gates, allowing ordinary Spaniards to witness the pageantry usually kept hidden. The plazas overflowed with families waving flags, the air fragrant with roses as thousands poured into the streets, not just as spectators but as participants in the unfolding history. By the second day, Madrid was transformed. Roads were lined with scarlet and gold carpets stretching miles, archways draped in silk banners, and fountains dyed with the royal crest. But what truly stunned was the sheer volume of roses, 6 million of them, carefully transported from every corner of Spain, a tribute to unity. Each region contributed its own blooms, a living metaphor that Leonor's reign would be a crown not of separation, but of togetherness. The ceremony itself was unlike any before. Leonor arrived not in a golden carriage, but in a sleek glass-topped procession car that allowed her to wave to the thousands who lined the streets. Her gown, designed by Spain's most celebrated couturier, was said to have taken nearly a year to complete. Embroidered into the silk were symbols from Spanish history, Castile's lions, Aragon's stripes, and even a hidden tribute to her grandmother, Queen Sofia. Every detail whispered of heritage, yet declared modernity. The vows, spoken under the vaulted ceilings of the Almudena Cathedral, were broadcast live to millions worldwide. But what caught everyone's attention was Leonor's voice, steady, emotional, deliberate. She wasn't just pledging herself to her husband. She was pledging herself to Spain. And then came the reception, the most expensive in Spanish history. The palace grounds were transformed into a dreamscape. Crystal chandeliers hung from trees, orchestras played beneath archways, and tables stretched endlessly with delicacies flown in from across the globe. Guests dined on everything from traditional Spanish tapas to Michelin-starred creations, served on plates lined with gold. Fireworks erupted at midnight, illuminating the city for nearly 30 minutes in what commentators called the crown in the sky. But what truly set this apart wasn't the grandeur, it was the intimacy. Despite the spectacle, Leonor insisted on personal touches. At each table sat handwritten notes, signed by the bride herself, thanking guests for being part of her story. Children in attendance were given gifts tied to Spanish culture, from small leather-bound storybooks to handcrafted fans, symbolic of heritage passed to the next generation. And yet, the most shocking moment came on the third and final day. The world expected a quiet closing, perhaps a farewell banquet. Instead, Leonor and her husband emerged in simple attire and walked through Madrid's central square, unannounced, greeting ordinary Spaniards face to face. No crown, no diamonds, just a princess who had become, in that moment, her people's queen. Why would a $76 million wedding end not with jewels, but with humility? Analysts say it was deliberate, a message that Leonor understands the monarchy cannot survive on spectacle alone. It must be rooted in the hearts of its people. And that is where the curiosity deepens. Was this entire wedding, every rose, every firework, every lavish detail, designed not just as celebration, but as declaration? Was Leonor showing the world that she is both modern and traditional, both glamorous and grounded, both royal and deeply human? The answer may lie in the reactions. Across Spain, crowds erupted with pride. In Denmark, whispers rose again of her ties to Prince Christian, fueling speculation of stronger European alliances. In the UK, comparisons were drawn between her spectacle and the weddings of William and Kate, or even Harry and Meghan, yet commentators admitted Leonor's felt different, more symbolic, more powerful. And across the Atlantic, in the United States, the coverage turned Leonor into a global icon overnight. No longer was she just the heir to a throne, she was now a figure of fascination, grace, and undeniable influence. Still, questions linger. How will this lavish beginning shape her reign? Will Spaniards embrace the balance of tradition and modernity she has offered, or will critics seize upon the cost, questioning whether a $76 million wedding was too extravagant in times of economic uncertainty? This is the loop that keeps unfolding. Each answer reveals a new question. Each moment of spectacle carries a shadow of doubt, a whisper of possibility. And that, perhaps, is what makes this story so unforgettable. Because Princess Leonor's wedding was not just an event. It was a stage set for the monarchy's future. A spectacle that dazzled the eyes but also stirred the heart. A declaration that Spain's crown is not just an ornament of the past, but a living promise for tomorrow. So, as the roses wilt, as the fireworks fade, and as the gowns are folded away, one question remains: when the crown one day passes from King Felipe to his daughter, will the world remember her as the queen of spectacle, or the queen of the people? For now, all we know is this: in just 3 days, with $76 million, 6 million roses, and one heart that beat for her people, Princess Leonor stunned the world. And history will never forget it.